What's up guys, it's me Jeremy, and today I'm going to be doing a mid-game commentary, so this will end after the mid-game is over. And jumping right in, taking a look at the score, it's 3-12, and realistically, we lost every single lane. Castan's 2-1, but his opponent mid laner still got some kills from other lanes from roaming, so overall our team is really just in a terrible spot. And I mean, how many rank games have we seen go like this, where you kind of just get stomped, and after the laning phase ends, like, you don't really know what to do. And so let's just get started. And so the enemy team is going to be pushing up our mid lane here. They're making a pretty solid push here, but Jarvan's doing his best to clear the wave. He actually gets hit by Pantheon here, and Pantheon starts taking the tower, so I go in on him because I know I can get a very solid chunk of damage on him. He takes some more tower shots, gets really low. Caitlyn goes for the ultimate play, but Grace is able to block it out, and now we see them all low. Jarvan goes for a fantastic ultimate play, and realistically, none of them have their flashes up, so I go in. Everyone's going in here, and finally they get low enough, and Castan goes in, and we're able to pick up a very solid 2-for-3 play. And me going in there might have been a mistake. I was pretty low already, and I pretty much died instantly, so perhaps I could have lived from that fight. And I mean, as this game goes on, you'll see that overall we're still in a pretty tough spot. Looking at the chat, our morale is not really high. Caitlyn's kind of getting blamed a lot, and honestly, she doesn't really deserve it completely. I would say a lot of her mistakes were, you could definitely blame myself for them because I was not playing too well in lane either. But anyways, let's just go on with it. Malphite's actually overextending here quite heavily. Castan's going to pick up what is a pretty much free kill. Fortunately, Shyvana gets a solid bait onto him because she's so weak. She's able to, it's actually really easy to bait people in when you're really weak, because when players get ahead, they get really cocky. And so you're probably going to see that a lot throughout this, that the opponents, when you're ahead, the players, they start to make plays that aren't really that respectful of their opponents. And jumping in, we see top lane, you know, Newton's third law: for every action there's an equal and opposite reaction. So just like Malphite overextends and gives up a free kill, so does the Shyvana. And that's kind of to be expected, honestly. Like, when your morale's low, you're not really communicating, half of your team, honestly, myself to some extent included, pretty much gave up on this game so far since we got totally destroyed. I mean, the game was 3-12. That's like destruction. So we're not really doing much. Our morale's still really low. I mean, we're 8 kills behind, 16 minutes in the game. That's still really high. Castan's probably our only shining beacon of hope since he picked up a double kill from that last 2-for-3 fight earlier. Pantheon's actually really overextended here, so we're going to pick up another free kill. Really lucky for us to get that. But Pantheon was actually trying to help his teammates out at the bot lane with their split push there. So they're able to get actually a really nice split push here. The Janna and the Graves are able to pick up this tower here, and we're not able to rotate fast enough because we were killing the Pantheon. And we're going to try to 2v3 this, but Caitlyn's extremely weak, and Graves gets a very nice jump onto the Caitlyn. I'm able to outplay the Janna ultimate, but Caitlyn's getting totally outplayed by the smoke screen. Very solid smoke screen by the Graves there, and Graves is still kiting. He has his slash up now, and he's able to get up enough damage on the Castan before he dies. So unfortunately, that's still a 2-for-1 play. We lose the tower. We lose the 2-for-3 fight because looking at Graves' score, he's like something like 8-0, totally fed. So he's really strong. He kites that fight really well, and he had his flash up because he didn't have it earlier. And even though we're able to kill him, it's not a shutdown because we killed him in the previous fight. So overall, we're still extremely far behind. And once again, even looking at this top lane, although Shyvana and Jarvan are able to pick up 1 kill, they're still getting chased down. You see the Pantheon there, you see the Udyr there on the minimap, and they take out the Jarvan, take out the Shyvana. So that's another 2-for-1 play. So it's 10-19. We're still extremely far behind. Like, it's not even close still. And even though Castan has started to pick up some kills, like, there's so many players on the other team that are just, they're so fed. Like, look at that, 5-0, 9-2. That's really strong stats coming out from our opponents. Even Jen is 0-1-13 with Medjais. It's really strong. She's starting to pick up a lot of stacks too. And since we weren't really able to kill her very much in those fights, like, she's in a really good spot. But right now, a very good thing starts. Castan starts to rally the team in saying, communicating, strategizing, you know, this is what we need to do. We're not in that bad of a spot. And Graves actually goes in here. He's really fed, but we're able to bait him out. I'm able to kite him a little bit and get some stuns out, and we pick up a nice kill. They underestimate the Castan there, so we pick up an easy kill, and Janna and the Pantheon actually walk through a very solid choke point here, and so I'm able to get a nice ultimate off. We get the kill on the Pantheon, and now we're in a much better spot because 12 to 19, it's okay. Our morale's starting to get much, much higher. Cassidy's like rallying the troops. I'm helping him out. You know, we're strategizing, planning. This is what we need to do. I mean, we made some mistakes earlier, but, you know, whatever. Let's just all forget it. So we're going to push up the mid lane tower here. And I'm actually going to make a really, really big mistake here. And in the fact that I choose to not flash because I don't think that the Malphite can actually kill me. But there you go. He just kills me pretty much really quickly. Free death from me. But fortunately, the enemy team does get baited in quite heavily here from my death. So even though they could have killed me for free and backed off, Malphite is going to die. So I trade 1 for 1 in that play. So I was really, really lucky there that my bad play, my almost really big mistake didn't end up being that bad. So it's still 13 to 20. It's really bad, but overall, we're in a decent spot. They turn it on Graves and get another free kill there. So some very cocky play coming out from our opponents. Lots of overextending. You notice we pick up about 3 to 4 kills just for free because we were so far behind and our opponents were like, whatever. They're so weak. They can't even kill us. They got no chance. So now, finally, we're in a much, much better spot. I'm starting to raise the morale. I'm saying we got a decent shot. Cassidy agrees with me. He's actually really fed now because he picked up pretty much all the kills from those fights. And so we're rallying the troops. We're strategizing. We're shock calling. We're communicating again. Our morale's really good. And so now we're just going to, from this point on, we know we're not going to give up for the game. And so we know that since we were so far behind, all we have to do is just group and look for uneven fights. Look for those 3v5s, those 4v5s that are so important and help you so much, so beneficial to coming back in the game. And so that's what we were able to do. We were able to pull off a lot of uneven fights. And with those fights, we're 6 kills behind, which is still pretty significant, but going from 3 to 12, that's much, much worse than 14 to 20. We picked up quite a few kills, and although they still got some kills back on us, those 1 for 1 trades, 2 for 2s, even 2 for 1s aren't that bad. And overall, just trying to raise the economy of the game, like making so that everyone in the game has much more gold, is a lot better when you're behind. And so the enemy team is going to push down the mid lane here, and we're kind of in a rough spot because we haven't actually grouped up as per our strategy that we were planning on, and so they're going to get a really nice push here on the mid lane. Great rotation from the enemy players, but they're going to do something here that's actually really crazy, and they all bunch up on the tower. You see they got 3 melee players, and so they all go for the tower, so I'm able to get a great Leona ultimate. Jarvan goes in, gets some nice damage off on the Graves. We get them all low. The Udyr's still hitting the tower for some reason. I don't know what he's doing. The Shyvana goes in. We kill the Graves finally. Malphite gets a nice ultimate here, but he's by himself. He's got no damage. Janna gets a good ultimate too, but she's once again by herself, and we're able to just chase down. We got a caster on our team. We got all our flashes up, and we're just able to chase it down, and boom! That's an ace. See you guys next time. We're back in this one. And you can see from the chat, we're going crazy. Like, we're really happy. Morale's really high. And that's actually it for this commentary. That was the mid-game of this game. And so you can see that we were able to strategize, and the thing that we did that came back was, okay, we're just going to group and look for picks, look for those overextended plays, and hopefully by some miracle something might happen and we could take advantage of, and eventually we ended up getting an ace. We picked up a couple shutdowns, picked up some kills here and there, raised the gold of the entire game. Caitlyn starts to get really strong, and after this play we actually ended up winning pretty much every single team fight, and we would go on to win this game. That's not a lie. You can check my match history. This was the, I think, 9th placement match that I played, the 9th game out of the 10, and so we ended up winning this game, and it was really, really cool to see that comeback from 3 to 12 all the way to 19 to 20. And overall, it was a great game. That's going to be it for this commentary. Thank you guys so much for watching. Definitely check out the links on the screen, the videos, the socials, all that good stuff. And as always, I'll see you guys next time.